What's up, YouTube? Capital G here. Welcome to the excellent adventures of Dark Magician. So Dark Magician is the deck that I am playing IRL. I played it a couple of weeks ago on my live stream. Just started to love the deck. It's kind of strange because I was really high on the deck, and then I played against some ABCs and Metaphos, got spanked, and I was like, fuck this deck. It's not that good. And then I started testing it more, and I was like, wait a minute. I think maybe it's just me. I just have to learn the deck more. And now I've really kind of gotten to like the comfort. Like I'm really comfortable with the deck. Like I kind of know a lot of the plays, and it's a very solid deck. It's not tier 1, it's like tier 2, but it can do some good things, guys. Like it actually won a regional over the weekend, which is very impressive considering it went like, undefeated. And you guys are probably looking at some of these cards like, why are you running cherries in the main? I'm telling you, man, cherries is just, it's too good in a deck like Dark Magician where you really don't need that much of your extra deck. I think there's only like 7 cards in my extra that I really make, and that's probably being generous. I probably only really make about 4 or 5 cards. So cherries is just super good because it blows out ABC. And like you see, I'm playing against PK Fire here. This name, I was gonna say, I don't know why I say Grand Shavadungo at the top. That was like bugged or something like that. But you see that against this matchup, I basically cherried him early in the duel, and it forced him to go into like a Levier play that wasn't as good. You see late in the game, I'm just able to navigation and just vomit all over the board. Keep in mind, even if you would have attacked over one of my guys with Omega, like it doesn't really matter. If your opponent can't kill your Eternal Soul, you're gonna outgrind just about any deck in Yu-Gi-Oh! Eternal Soul is just too good. Between Eternal Soul and Circle, if you can just keep those on board, Dark Magician will basically outgrind just about every deck in Yu-Gi-Oh! Because like you just have Dark Magicians endlessly summoning to the field, and you're basically just banishing something every single turn. Even decks like Magispectors, the fact that they can't be targeted doesn't matter. You just go after their skills and whatnot. So this is the same guy that I played in the last game. I think we played a best 2 out of 3. I think we played a couple of best 2 out of 3s. Now this is generally the worst fear for Dark Magician, because you're gonna notice, guys, I set 5 a lot. You don't always normal summon with this deck. Like there's only like 2 cards that you ever normal summon, and to be honest, you don't really even normal summon like Kaiku that much. But I'm still able, like I didn't really even get blown out by the Twin Twister because I'm able to just slow the game down with cards like Skill Drain, and then from there I use my navigation, I get my double Dark Magician on the field, and at this point it kind of feels like I'm just I'm able to come back, I'm able to get over his board. I think I'm gonna go on. Okay, I was gonna say maybe I'm gonna go Draco Sack. Starlight Road, so good in this deck because if your opponent blows up your copy of Eternal Soul, you can actually Starlight Road your own Eternal Souls effect, which is really good. So go into Mecha Phantom Beast Draco Sack. Love that card because I get to use it under Skill Drain. Skill Drain in this deck is dumb, mainly because you don't really like the way the Dark Magician wins is you just constantly spam and summon magicians over and over again. Like mainly this dude, the Dark Magician. Like your other effects don't really matter at that point. Like you see how I just keep summoning Dark Magicians back over and over again. Like I don't really need monster effects, so we're able to blow up his Fog Blade, summon Dark Magician again, and then just beat over for raw damage. And one of the cool things about this deck is it's this really spicy combo. You can slow it down and you'll probably see it a whole bunch. It's really what the heck? This was not supposed to be in here. Okay, we're gonna actually exit out of that. Oh my goodness, not planned. Wait a minute. I'm supposed to be in this match. Apparently, this thing is bugged as fuck. Okay, there we go. Metaphors. It's a really spicy play where basically you like have a Dark Magician, or you have a Robe in the graveyard, and you'll summon your Dark Magician off of, like, I don't know, it can be off navigation, off of Eternal Soul. Usually, actually, it's best off navigation. Like, so if you have Robe in the grave and you summon a Dark Magician off navigation from your hand, and then you get your illusion from your deck, what you can actually do is you can actually tribute your Dark Magician on the field, get your Robe back from the graveyard to your hand, and then you can actually use Illusion's effect and get a Dark Magician back from the graveyard. So it's actually really good. Now, let me pause for 1 second. You guys probably see double navigation plus Eternal Soul, and you're like, hey Cap, why didn't you stop this play? Why didn't you like banish the Cyber Nova Dragon before you went into Infinity? For some reason it wasn't like trying to let me chain. By the way, every time, like, I don't know what's going on with the names here, but this is always me playing the Dark Magicians. If for some reason it like wouldn't let me fucking use the cards, I was just like, whatever. So I go for navigation, he tries to negate, I activate a second navigation, which is cool because you guys know navigation can be used from the graveyard, so getting 2 in the grave is not really a waste. And at this point, you just see, like, look how I'm just able to crack his board. He flips over combination. I'm basically just ignoring this. So we're gonna banish his scales, pretty much both of them, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, we're gonna banish both of his scales, and I think I'm gonna go Draco Sack here in main phase 2, but I feel like I probably shouldn't. I just kind of did it to, like, I don't even know why I did it, to be honest. I used Draco Sack to pop a token, like, what the fuck? And I'm not gonna lie, I had no idea what the fuck this card right here, the one that's on top of his Pendulum Zone, or the one that's on top of his extra deck, I had no idea what it was. Now, he actually he uses pot and has like 4 cards left in deck, and I just decided to max see him at that point. He uses Kinrin to bounce Draco Sack, and he goes for Mithril, and now I honestly thought he was going to use the effect and he was going to bounce this, but I'm not sure. Like, I feel like I don't think he has enough cards in his graveyard to use the effect or something, but for some reason he totally didn't. But you just see, guys, if you're not able to actually get rid of Eternal Soul, it's extremely difficult to beat Dark Magician. Like, all of those resources that he had just doesn't matter because the Dark Magicians are just unaffected by what's it called. So he has Metaphors Fusion, and I negate its effect, and he sends it back to the deck and draws it again. But it doesn't matter because I'm just going to go ahead Eternal Soul. I'm going to banish the Mithril, and then obviously he can't do anything. Even if he attacks, it doesn't matter. Like, I'm just going to banish it next turn. He only has 2 cards in deck. So, you know, we're doing pretty good so far. What I've learned about this deck is I think the most difficult matchup, like the 2 most difficult matchups that I have found so far, have really been Metaphors and Paleozoic is like the hardest matchup. Even with like Kaiku, it just really doesn't do that much. Really, the main reason that Paleozoic is so difficult for Dark Magician is because they're kind of like the only deck in the meta that play kind of like MSTs for I guess less of a like lack of a better term. Yeah, they're the only deck that kind of plays MSTs. By the way, you guys see the names are bugged. It keeps saying Vote Trump and Grand Shabaldungo. It's always me down here at the bottom playing Dark Magicians. So once again, you see a player who pretty much overextended with back row. I just Dark Magic attack him. I banish everything, and I think I'm gonna OTK him here. Yeah, I think that's game. He just overextended with a whole bunch of like, I have seen that version pop up a couple of times. I think this was on my live stream where people are playing Metaphors Subterrors, and it's because obviously you can use the like Nemesis can be not Nemesis. What's the damn girl Archer? You can blow her up with the with your Subterrors, and then you can obviously or excuse me, you can blow her up with the Metaphors cards, and then you can search for a Subterror, and that's pretty cool. And then obviously you can Pendulum summon a lot of the guys too. So this is a duel where I think this one actually just happened just not too long ago. Yeah, I get Twin Twistered, but Vanity's too good. I really try and like I really have been playing mainly TCG decks, but like this is just I don't know what this was. Like I didn't see his hand, so I just assumed it was Zodiac Beast. And this is a duel where I felt like I pretty much had auto when I flipped over Vanities because you can't really Twin Twister this because if he Twin Twisters or Regekis, I'll just activate Navigation and the game will be over. Like he's not going to get over a board that big. So let's just keep it rolling. Yeah, the 2 decks that I found to be extremely hard are Paleozoics and oh yeah, I remember this one. This is against what's it called? This is actually against Super Quantums, which was a pretty easy matchup. I think I played this guy in a full game, and it really wasn't that difficult for me. But yeah, when decks play like regular MST, is actually much harder to stop than something like Twin Twister because you can Starlight Road that, and you know, you can navigation it. You can navigation the other cards, but yeah, I don't know. I just find Paleozoic to be kind of a difficult matchup. So I am actually running some Paleozoic cards in my extra deck for Winter Cherries, just to like banish them damn things, because like that deck is just so damn annoying. And then Metaphors can be kind of annoying too. Now here he kind of played me though, right? He activates Instant Fusion, and I'm like, oh, I'm just gonna go ahead and Skill Drain. You're gonna summon Norden, and no, he actually goes for Panzer Dragon. But what I don't get was he banished a copy of my circle, even though he already knew that I had another circle in my hand. So I was just like, wait, what? Like, why on earth would you do that? You basically are like, you just kind of gave me that. Like, I thought he was gonna blow up Skill Drain, but I guess he felt like he didn't have a lot of resources to begin with. So we get him down to just Instant Fusion and Maxi. Obviously, Instant Fusion Norden's not gonna do anything. I do go into Dante. I think this is out of like 30 duels, this is like the first time I've ever summoned Dante. You mainly run it because it's a cherries target, but you can actually, you know, you can use it if you have like cherries plus 2 copies of Robe and You can actually mill navigation, which is kind of cool, but you're seeing that I'm just basically able to, like, he's never really able to establish a fill, so we just like run him the hell over. And I think this could be, yeah, this is the game 2 where we played against them. Super Quantums are, I think they're just a dead dat. Like I can't even, it doesn't even have to do with the teleport anymore. It's just the fact that, like, who doesn't know, like, the secret's out about kaijus. Even if you make the big Voltron dude, like, you make Magnus, like, people just gonna tribute it for a kaiju. So you see he just goes super ham, right? And he's under max C, and you see that I am just drawing cards left and right. Now I did kind of have to, like, it was annoying that he immediately he immediately blew up my circle. I mean, obviously I had the ability to, like, probably get to another circle, but it was kind of annoying. I am citing dimensional barriers against decks like this, like Super Quantums, that are kind of like super linear decks that basically rely on one mechanic. Because even though Dark Magician is an Exceed deck, like, you don't rely on the Exceed mechanic. You just really rely on, like, Dark Magician. So you see we go Eternal Soul. And here's, I'm just gonna tribute it to get my robe back, and then I'm just gonna use the reason I flipped this second Eternal Soul over was so that this guy's effect would trigger and I'd get another Dark Magician, just so I can block attacks. Here he does have a pretty good feel, guys, but you can see not only do we have skill drain, but then we have the barrier set. So I decided to flip both of them over for added protection. I mean, honestly, obviously, Deep Barrier is a skill drain basically against his field, but I decided to flip skill drain just in case anything happens. And at this point of the game, you just constantly simplify the game over and over and over again. You just summon Dark Magician off Eternal Soul, and you constantly just banish cards on your opponent's side of the field. So every single turn, you're just seeing him banish, and then we got a quick Leo sighting, and I think this duel is over. Pretty much the next turn. Like, he has the field spell, he top decks an instant fusion, he's really not going anywhere. I want to say I go into Red Eyes to kill him just cuz, but obviously I could have just attacked with Leo. I just kind of wanted some style points there, so just end up killing him with the what's it called, the Red Eyes. And then I think we have a couple of matches versus Burning Abyss. I've been playing this deck so much that I basically ran into everything. Now you see that he is running Burning Abyss Infernoid, which I believe topped the Houston Regionals about a week and a half ago. No, it may have been 2 weeks ago. And I didn't know that he was playing Infernoids at first because obviously I don't see his hand and I had no idea. So I think I open Circle off of Rod, and yeah, like, this deck, you just set back row. Because the thing is, if you're going to get Twin Twistered, you want your opponent to potentially hit dead cards. Like, if he tries to hit the Illusion Magic, obviously I can chain it. You know what I mean? I do have to Solemn the Lady B here, who I know is going to get the Dante, but considering I have Skill Drain, I'm just not afraid of it. Like, I don't feel like anything he does I really care about, guys. Like, he can summon all the Infernoids that he wants, and I just don't care. I will say this, I do kind of care that he can banish from my graveyard, because the Infernoids, what's it called? They tribute themselves as a cost, so they kind of do work around your Dark Magician. But for the most part, I haven't really seen any Infernoids, and at this point, I'm still just playing, like, he called it 2-card keep away. He was like, damn, skill drain feels bad, man. He's like, you're just playing keep away against me. And essentially, yeah, that's just what I'm doing. The reason that you see me keep tributing my Dark Magician is so that I can just keep summoning it over and over and over again. He pitches his graph for, I still don't actually know why. He got Farfa, but it didn't really do anything. Like, all it did was end up banishing my Rod. But yeah, in the grand scheme of things, that really just didn't amount to anything. Now, when he summons his Infernoids, he actually does kind of get back in the game, but I never really felt like, I never honestly felt like I was remotely close to kind of like losing. So, like, you see I tried to target the Untundale and he uses the DD Crow effect. So yeah, the Infernoids actually, like, they're good under Skill Drain. The Burning Abyss, even though they work under Skill Drain, you see that the Burning Abyss have pretty much done nothing. He is able to banish one of my Dark Magicians from Harmonique, but it really doesn't matter. I don't think he can banish both of them. And what is my set card? Oh yeah, my set card was a Dead Starlight Road, which I figured he wasn't going to be able to, I figured he wasn't gonna like trigger it or anything like that. If he would have somehow blew this up, oh, that's what happened. I end up using Starlight Road on his guy's effect. I didn't know you could do that. Even with Skill Drain, if your opponent activates a monster that would like nuke the board, apparently, I guess, according to YGO Pro, you can still technically activate Starlight Road, which is weird. I don't know if it would have resolved or what. I believe that was game 2, and this was actually game 1. And you see I open up pretty good. I have Eternal Soul. I think I'm looking for like a navigation, and boom, got navigation. See, the thing about it is, guys, when you open with Circle off of like Ride and you have a Dark Magician, you generally, like, it's better to go navigation than it is to like immediately go like Eternal Soul. And yeah, he overextended it way too much. He's at like 4 back row, and we just, as soon as I activated Dark Magic Attack, he scooped. Actually, I think this might have been game 2. As soon as I used Dark Magic Attack for like a +3, he was just like, nah. He's like, you got it. Because you see it's Burial, it's Void Imagination, Bottomless Trap Hole, Solemn Warning. But yeah, Navigation is generally like the better play. Mainly because you kind of want to get navigation started up super early in the graveyard, because it protects against Twin Twister, and you can use it on your opponent's like desires too. Like if your opponent's really low on resources and you know they have like 1 card in hand and they top deck desires, just go ahead and negate it, because at that point you're pretty much going to outgrind them. Now this guy was trying to troll me. His name on, let me see if it fixes the name. I'm trying to see if, okay, I guess it's not going to fix the name. I was trying to go back and forth to see. It just keeps on fucking up. But anyways, this guy was using my name on YGO Pro, and his name was Star Drawing, which everyone knows that I use on YGO Pro. And then, to make it worse, he decided to troll and use fucking Chain Burn. But the problem with Chain Burn against Dark Magician is, you see how aggressive I can go. He activates Card of Demise and I negate it. And the thing about it is, not only do I get a free Dark Magician, it doesn't count as the activation negated. So he's actually kind of like fucked. We go into Mecha Phantom Beast, Draco Sack, and gonna hit his Fire Mirror Force. And at that point, game's like pretty much over. We take all his resources away, and you guys know anything about Burn, it's a terrible top decking deck. So we're just gonna go ahead and get Dark Magic Attack from our deck. We're gonna go ahead and activate it. See, once again, I get Dark Magic Attack, and then I draw Twin Twister. I think at this point I was running 3 Twin Twisters though, but I am actually only running 2 now. It's a good card. I think you definitely need to run Twin Twister in this deck, because I mean you will go second, and what's it called? Robe is kind of like, it's a magnet for strike. Like a lot of times if you summon it, people will just strike. Now you see, like when I don't open up really strong, a lot of times I try and get like cards to slow the duel down. You see that I try and get like, I duality'd for like in this case I duality'd for skill drain. Like you should try and generally just get cards that are like going to slow the duel down. You know what I mean? Because the Dark Magician deck plays defense pretty well. So he actually ends up maxing me here, and he gets a nice plus out of it. Not a lot of people max see Dark Magician because they don't really special summon that much, but I am able to make like Ebon. I'm able to pretty much get like control over the field. My hand's really not that good, to be completely honest, and my cherries is actually pretty dead because like he has more monsters on the board than or excuse me, I have more monsters on the board than he does, and like he'd have to have 3 monsters to try and gain control, but I am able to just kind of like slow things down with skill drain. He has bigger beaters and I don't have circle, but as long as you have Eternal Soul, you can pretty much just kind of outgrind. Like you can go for double 7s, right? Like I can just Draco Sack this, because Draco Sack obviously works under skill drain, and speak of the devil, that's exactly what I do. Just Draco Sack it and summon my Dark Magician back, and then just able to go into like Leo and end up winning the duel. So Leo's actually one of the main reasons why you run Leo. It's super hard for a deck like, what's it called? It's super hard for a deck like ABC to kind of get over it, because like ABC and Paleozoics, they kind of have to go, oh, this is a game too. You guys are like, why are you running the Winged Dragon of Riot? This was a spicy game too. I don't record a lot of game 1s, or I don't like save a lot of game 1 replays. And this guy had like a lot of good stuff too. He opened with Vanity's Fiend and Anti-Spell Fragrance, but I knew if I could get through the first 2 turns without dying, I knew the Anti-Spell Fragrance would fuck him over more than it fucks me over. So you see, I'm able to still get my Dark Magic Attack from Eternal Soul. Even when you don't have a Dark Magician, you should still use what's it called? You should still use Eternal Soul to thin your deck out. Now, Effect Veiler would have actually hurt me a lot there. That's why I use Solemn Strike on it. See, now the thing is, if you look at the board, right? So like he gets Twin Twister, but he can't use it. So, and this the spear mode, I know people are like, why the fuck are you running the Winged Dragon of Ra spear mode? It's basically a side deck card for when you go second against like heroes and stuff like that. Decks that make like those super duper dumb uncrackable boards, because heroes don't actually have a way of killing this card. Once it goes back to your side of the field, they can't attack it and they can't target it. So like if they make Totally Awesome plus like Dark Law and Bahamut Shark, basically you just give them Nest, and even it doesn't matter if they Solomon or not, like they don't get their monsters back. So I actually ended up summoning the Winged Dragon of Ra against this guy, and you'll see once it comes back to my side of the field, like he doesn't have an answer for it. I think I'm gonna navigate, and then I'm just gonna like take the duel over at that point. Yeah, you see, this was the combo I'm talking about, guys, where I use, oh no, wait, I didn't end up triggering the Magician's effect, or the dark illusion effect, but whatever. I actually end up turning off his anti spell so that I can use my I turned off his anti spell so that I could have used Dark Magic Circle, and I think I would have went into Ebon at this point, and I just would have banished this, and like I'm pretty sure that I could have OTK'd him, but even if not, I didn't want to destroy his anti spell because I wanted him to kind of be under it. And then the last one, I'll skip this one. Then the last one will just be it's a match against ABC. And he's playing the version with Galaxy, so I don't think that version is good, man. I think it's kind of inconsistent, but you guys see that I open with Cherry, so basically he's so fucked. He does go Transmodify for Galaxy Soldier. Like, Cherries is just one of those cards where if you open with it, you just feel so safe against most of the meta decks. I've taken my Cherries down a little bit, though. Like, I went to 2 copies so that I could put 2 Maxes in. You see he goes for Nova, but it doesn't matter. I'm just going to go ahead and banish it. And at this point, like, let me just pause. Like, 1 turn in, and it feels like I have already just won the duel. Like, I already, not only have I banished all 3 of his ABCs, but then he can't even go into, like, Cyber Infinity. Like, it feels like the duel is 100% already over. Let's keep rolling. I think he's going to anti-spell me. I Twin Twister, even though I didn't really need to. I just did it because it was free. You're seeing that I'm able to get the monster back from the Dark Magician that I just pitched. I'm getting it back for free anyways. I think I might go Dracosac here. Okay, yeah. Usually when you don't want to leave your Dark Magicians on the field, like you don't have a better play, like going for Dracosac is the best play because it gets your Magician back in the graveyard, and from there you're just able to like summon it back. So you see that like he attaches the B, which doesn't really matter. I'm just gonna summon my Dark Magician back, use Rod's effect again. Like the strange thing is you kind of want Rod to die. Like once you summon Rod and get its effect, you actually want him to die. So I think at this point I'm just gonna banish the A Assault Core and then just pretty much attack for game. So I know this one was a little different as far as my excellent adventures. I didn't do like I just had so many replays saved. I kind of wanted to slam them all together. Usually I only do like 3 or 4, but I don't know. I've been playing this deck for like a week and a half, and it's just oh my god, it's very, very underrated. Like I think this deck can actually hang with a lot of the big decks in the front. It's not tier 1, I will say that. Definitely tier 2, but it's a good tier 2 deck. So if you guys enjoyed it, or if you guys want to talk about Dark Magician, leave that in the comment section or thumbs up the video and subscribe if you have not already.